But first off, good afternoon, everybody. And so good to see you all. Truly grateful for the opportunity to be here. Thanks so much for the kind words, Coach. Truly appreciate it on the intro. Same sentiments to you, man. Love that guy. Great people here in this district. I was in a district close by for a long time, competed against the schools here, and it's amazing people in this district that I've connected with, and truly grateful that I have, because I've learned a lot from them. And so I'm grateful that they think enough of me to have me here to pour into you, right? And because of that, my goal is to give y'all my A game. I ain't messing around. How about that? All right. And so my goal is to give you everything I got, because this means something to me. Even bigger than that, I know the importance of what it means for you to be the best version of yourself, so that you can give the best version of yourself to those people that you serve, right? And so it's important. And so today we're going to talk about leadership is learning. So that's my social media. Feel free as we go through to take pictures, do quotes, any of that stuff. Feel free to do any of that as we go through. I'm okay with that. So I want to make sure I give you that as we start. Yes, please. Give you that as we start. And Coach, y'all be with me on time, because I'm going to be out of my head. y'all make sure. I'm telling you, it's on. Yeah, it's on. So being a educator, coach, teacher, because I'm giving you my A game, I also have some expectations of you with our session today, and I call it my norms. I call it the 3 B's. And the first B is I ask that you would just be in the moment with me. And what I mean by that is, don't worry about what's going on later. Don't worry about what happened earlier. I ask that y'all would just be in the moment with me, and let's have a good time. If you're good with that, let me get some head nods. Good deal. All right. The second B, you all right with that, Coach? That's good. Yeah. All right. The second B is be interactive. Now, like, my goal is to give you some stuff today that you can take and help you be better. But like, I want us to all like learn and grow together, right? And communicate and talk, so that when we leave this place, we're all better together. So I ask that you would be interactive with me. If you're good with being interactive, let me get thumbs up. Let me see that. Good deal. All right. And then the last B is the most important B, and that's be in application mode. And what I mean by that is, I know that your time is valuable, right? I'm truly grateful for your time, and I honor the time that you're giving me to pour into you. Your time is valuable, my time. I'm not going to waste your time, right? So my goal is to give you some things that will help you. And I hope that you can take at least one thing from what I give you today and actually use it and apply it in your life to help you be a better leader, right? And so one of my former pastors, he says all the time, he would say, life change happens in the application, right? Like, we can learn stuff all day, read and watch hype videos, YouTube. We can do all that stuff all day, but if we don't take what we learn and actually put the dang work in and apply, then we don't get better, right? So if you're good with being in application mode, tell me we're ready, Coach.
Ready, Coach.
Well, let's go. So Coach passed out the sheet to you, the leadership manifesto. And so this is good. Y'all might want to write this one down right here. People forget, but paper remembers. Come on. I'm going to give you that one again. People forget, but paper remembers. Right? And so I used to hear, long-time coach, man, he forgot more football than I know. I heard them saying, there's going to be some times where you forget those things, but if you write it down, you can always go back and look at it and use it as a reference. I can't tell you how many times I've been in meetings where I really didn't have to be in a meeting, but I was in a meeting and I took notes. And then down the road, the notes that I took in that meeting, I didn't have to be in, but I took notes. It really helped me, right? So I asked to just, as we go through, I have the note sheet for you. We'll go through the different things and you can write down the stuff there. And it's called Leadership Manifesto, because these are the leadership things that I'm hoping you will put in the work and apply to manifest in your leadership. All right. So everybody's good with that. All right. So a little bit about me. I am Coach Chip Baker. I'm a fourth generation educator, teacher, former coach. I'm in my 26th year of education, still in education, not coaching anymore. Stopped coaching about 5 years ago, but now I coach coaches, right? I develop leaders, right? That's what I do. I travel and speak and do those things, but I'm still in education. I come from a family of church folk and educators. Let me give you that one again. I come from a family of church folk. That's with no S, right? I mean that we were in church a lot, right? Church folk and educators. And the reason I say church folk is because my mother and my grandmother, they were ministers of music in our churches that I grew up in. So if the church was open, we had to be there, right? And even if it wasn't open, we had the key and we were there, right? We still had to be there. But long-time educator as well. Mom, grandmother, great-grandmother, retired educators. They were those educators who, even after they retired, they didn't stay away from the school. Y'all know those kind of people, like just always there, right? So, like I said, I'm in my 26th year. Have a younger sister. She's an assistant principal at Conroe High School. We're very proud of her. My wife is in education, and my son, he swears he's not going to be a teacher, but we'll see. He's a senior in high school now, but we'll see. I joke with him. I call him 5G. Man, you're going to be the fifth generation. You're going to be the fifth generation. You go, no, I don't know, Dad. I don't know. But I joke with him on that. But about 8 years ago, I started my YouTube channel and podcast, The Success Chronicles. And what I do is I just interview people from all walks of life and share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. That's been a really neat journey. Truly far surpassed anything I ever thought it would be. Getting to talk to some people like my favorite author. Like I interviewed him, I texted with him, like it's crazy. Like people that listen to their music or see on TV, coaches that we watch on TV. It's crazy. Like I've been blessed to interview some really neat people and share their journeys and share their stories, and that's been cool. About a little over 6 years ago, started writing books, and to the date, man, this one always gets me right here when I say this. So to the date, I just published my 23rd book. Crazy. And that always gets me because like where I'm from, y'all, we didn't write books. Right? Like I didn't grow up knowing people that wrote books. And so that shows me two things. It shows me to make sure that I continue to be humble because great things are possible, right? But it also shows me to be hungry, right? Because great things are possible, right? And so, man, truly grateful for that. And I know that it's bigger than me. I know it's not about me. I just strive to give service and help where I can and do my part to make a positive impact in this world. And so, speaker as well, do those things I talked to you about, that coach to coaches, leadership stuff. This is just some pictures of some of the things. Picture on the top left is my family, those ladies, the fourth generation I told you about, my wife and my son there, degrees, some of the things I've done, books there. My kids' book on the bottom right, Stay on the Right Path. I'm proud of that. Probably out of all of the books, that's my most proud accomplishment because that's a statement that my mom would always say to me. Boy, you should put the boy in front of you, it's for real, right? Boy? Yeah, coach, it's for real. Did she say the whole name? Oh, yeah. Boy, stay on the right path. And so she would say that, and growing up, I didn't understand what that meant, but as I got older and matured, I have an acronym for what path means, and so I share that. And so my hope is that I can pass that down in my family to show the people in my family that great things are possible if they stay on the right path. So that's just a little bit about me and my story. Once I found out I was going to have the amazing opportunity to be here with you today, I reflected on some things. I'm a big reflection guy. I don't say a lot, but I see a lot. I try to do a lot. How about that? But I reflected on some things, and I am truly grateful for the amazing leaders that I've been blessed to have in my life and in my career. I want to say that one again because that hits me in the heart right there. Right? I am truly grateful for the amazing leaders that I've been blessed to have in my life and in my career. Those people went above and beyond to look out for me. Those people went above and beyond to take care of me. Those people went above and beyond to invest and pour into me, even when I may have felt that I wasn't worthy enough to be invested in. They did that because that's what they did. And what it did is it made me who I am today, right? And I'm truly grateful for that. And so I want to talk to you about when you're looking at leaders. This is another reflection I have that came up for me. Let's like a travel agent. What does a travel agent do? Y'all said y'all gonna be interactive. That's where you talk to me right here.
Sells you on the trip.
Yeah, sets up travel. Yep, sells you on the trip. They set up the trip,
Yeah.
right? So what about a tour guide?
Takes you on the trip.
Take you actively involved. What'd you say, Coach?
Enrich the experience.
Enrich the experience. Great leaders are tour guides, right? Great leaders are tour guides because like they take you on that experience, right? They don't just set you up for the trip, but no, man, they give you a great experience. And great leaders are tour guides. And I've been blessed to have some of those in my life to say, hey, I'm gonna show you how to do this because you're gonna be doing this one day, right? I'm gonna let you do this because I think you can do this. Like, me? You sure you want me to do that? I don't know, Coach. Yes, let's go. You, right? And then make sure that they don't let me fail, right? They set me up and they take me on a tour where I don't fail. And then the other thing I reflected on is along that journey, great leaders master their learning so that they can share that expertise, the experience, the knowledge, the value, so that they can share all of those things with the people that they're blessed to be around, right? And so those are the reflections that I had when I thought about the opportunity in great leaders. And what I'd like for you to do is just reflect on the great leaders you've had in your life. For some of y'all, put a smile on your face, all right? For some of y'all, it may have given you chills, right? So reflect on the leadership traits of those people that you've been blessed to be around, and then just discuss that with your elbow partner right there, and you can write those traits down on your paper, right? So I'll give you about 2 minutes to do that. All right, so here's the interactive part again. Let's get some share outs, all right? What about over here at this table? What are some of the traits y'all came up with?
Demanding.
Demanding, okay.
Like, do it. Like they
Right.
fly out the best in me.
Accountability, high expectations, right?
I said, about growing the person over in our case, the game, right? Make sure
Yes,
you
sir.
grow the game.
I love that. That took me back when you said that. I've had some good people that, like, I knew without a shadow of a doubt they cared about me as Chip Baker, not number 42. You know. What about here?
Passionate.
Yeah.
Not just in gameplay, but at practice too.
Yeah.
Practice can become daunting for some of these kids or athletes, but when you have a passionate leader, it makes you be passionate.
It makes you want to be there.
Right.
They love it. I love it. That's so good. Anybody else over here?
Well, partner in crime over here.
Okay.
It's, a great leader is someone you work with, not work for.
Coach, can you give them that again?
A great leader is someone you work with, not work for.
So good.
It's my elbow partner right here.
Your elbow partner, let's go, Coach. Good job. All right, so true. Some of the best leaders I've had have been those that get in the trenches with you, right? Not just say, hey, I need you to go. Hey, let's go. Let's go do this. Let's go. Let's set these hurdles up. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Right, like all of that, right? All right, let's go over here.
So we spoke about kind of Derek and I both had the same thought as service or their ability to invest in you. So like some of the strongest leaders are the people who will take their time because they could easily, there's a lot of things that they could either do
Come on.
or give someone else but they take the time to show you what they want from you. They
Yeah.
take the time, and then for me personally, I think them having the, I guess, being courageous to be to be honest with you, because if they don't see what you're if they don't see you giving what you're capable of, to be able to say, hey, there's a hard conversation to have, but this needs to be better, or
Yep.
that didn't go how I wanted it to go,
Mm-hmm.
where they could easily just shuffle that to another person who's got more ability or better suited for it, but be willing to tell you when you don't necessarily hit that standard
Yeah.
that either they see for you or they have for you.
That's so good. It makes me think about like my mom. You know, boy, I get on to you because I love you. You know, as a kid, like, I don't know, that don't jive too. Oh, okay. But then as I got older, I understood that if she gonna get on my butt, because she's not gonna let me do things the wrong way, right? And I'm so grateful that I had someone in my life like that, because she didn't have to do that, but because she loved me and cared for me, she did that. And then I've had some other leaders I've seen like man, like, you know what you're gonna get from them, like every time, right? And I'm appreciative of that. I love the consistency in that, because you know what you're gonna get, but it also shows you that they value you as well, right? If they take the time, because I know they're busy, I know they have lots of things on their plate, but they're taking the time to invest in me, like little old me. Oh yeah, I can go to work for that person. Let's go. Whatever you need, coach. Let's go. So thank you guys so much for sharing those traits. I think we got better with that part. We all got better on that. So major thing that came up for me when I thought about leaders, I think the main component for me, I believe that leadership is learning. Right? Though I think the secret sauce to be a great leader is the ability to have continued growth, right? And continued growth is continued learning, right? Because things change over the years. If I'm still doing the same stuff I did back then and it's changed, well, we're gonna get left behind. That's unacceptable, right? Now there's also some things like core common principles, discipline, structure. There's also some things that we got to hang on to, right? And know that, hey, no, we're going to do those things. No, we're going to do that, right? But it's continued learning and how you communicate it, how you invest that and show that to your people. So I believe that leadership is learning, but leadership is continued learning. That makes sense, right? So the first thing leaders must do is they must learn to grow. To be great leaders, we must learn to grow. And we do that by finding ways to be the best version of ourselves. And that's deep, right? It's a lot to that. Like, I think the big thing that come up for me now is like self-care, right? It's not selfish to have self-care, because when you have the self-care, you take care of yourself so that you're healthy and you can take care of the people and give that to the people that you love and care about, right? It's important to go above and beyond to learn things so that you can share those things with your people that you love and care about. And so we all grow as leaders when we do that. The next component is a growth mindset. You know, we've all heard fixed mindset versus growth mindset. You know, in any situation, how can we grow from this, right? There's going to be challenges, but we have to make sure there's two things we have to make sure we do is kind of pause when we have those challenges. What can I learn from this, right? Learn from each experience, right? And then how can I use what I'm learning from this experience to help us be better, right? So what am I learning from this experience? Because there's going to be challenges. None of us are immune from growing through challenges as leaders, right? But what am I learning from this? How can I use this to help us be better? And so I shared this, like, this is a little funny about myself. I learned that for me, it's not winning and losing, it's winning and learning, right? And really, if it's winning and learning, it's really winning and winning. Come on, right? And so, at the house, at the table, You know, it's like what'd you fail on today? Like what was rough? Like what do we need to work on to be better? And there's, you know, the saying is, get to the house, it was a bad day. Whew, I got better today. You know, because I learned, oh man, I got better today. And so it's a shift in mindset. Not saying, oh, poor me, this happened to me. No, come on, why not me? How did I get better from it? Right? And then when you have that mindset shift, it helps you grow as leaders, and you can share that with your people. So when looking at the grow piece, I'm just reflecting on some of the experience and the leaders that I had. And so this is an article I was blessed to publish in the Texas High School Coaches Magazine in September. And so I put that up there because I'm going back to the Texas High School Coaches Magazine. When I was a young coach, assistant coach at Conroe High School, man, our defensive coordinator, man, he would make copies of art. This old school before it was online, right? Let me go back before it was online, right? So he would make copies of the articles, things that pertain to us that would help us be better, and leave those on our desk, right? He would do things like that. I'm going old school again on you. On the tablet, he would write clinics, right, by dates. And he put it up on the whiteboard. So when we walk in the office, hey, these are the clinics that we can go check out. You know, we're looking to do some different stuff on offense here. Like these are the clinics that they're teaching those things. Right? We're looking to do some things different organizationally. Like these are the clinics that we can go to hear those things. Even a step further, as far as like where we are blessed, super blessed to be in an area where it's so many people that we can learn from. First off, you don't have to go very far because your district is great, right? Secondly, there's joining districts with great people that you can collab with. Third, so many colleges around here. And so that same defensive coordinator, and this is what really helped me with my, like taking ownership with my learning and taking ownership with my growth in the profession. He was like, I'm gonna talk Coach Patrick's name. Shoot, boy, you got to call them coaches, ask if we can come see some ball. Or he talked like that. And you know, for me, I was a little hesitant. Man, I don't want to bother those people. Like, no, like they're not gonna tell us no. They're recruiting our kids. Right? So call them. And I remember one spring, we were in every college in the area. We were at their spring ball. We were in meetings. We had a couple kids at a couple of colleges too. So we were in meetings with them and everything, watching video, all of that stuff. And so as leaders, we have to make sure that we learn to grow. That's the first component. So what I'd like for you to do on your manifesto, give you like a minute or so. What is your one takeaway from learning that you got from this session that you can apply in what you do as a leader? So I'll give you about a minute to do that, to write that down, and then we'll go to the next point. All right, everybody have their takeaway? You're good? All right, the next component is great leaders in learning. They learn to build relationships. And this first quote, I heard this from another one of my former pastors, and when I heard it, it gave me chills. Right? Life moves at the speed of our relationships. Let me give you that one again. Life moves at the speed of our relationships. And, you know, when you think about it, those leaders, those people that are doing great things in organizations and life, they have some great relationships, right? They have great people around them to help them, to show them, to guide them, mentor them. And then they're also pouring into others, mentoring others, right? So great things happen for them because they have great relationships. The next point is no significant success is achieved alone. Now we may be able to, you know, we got to work hard, you got to, you know, do some things, but no significant success is achieved alone. Like we all need help. Some of us need more help than others, right? And so we have to understand that. And when we understand it, it allows us to continue to build and grow in those relationships. And I can't tell you how many times in my life that I've had opportunities come my way because of that. All right, so this picture here, man, that's a little Chip right there. in the middle. The guy on the left is Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Norris McDaniel. He was my elementary school principal, and he's also in that picture on the right. And that's his wife, and I'm there top row, standing up in the middle. He was my little league baseball coach as well, right? And the guy on your right, my left there in the picture is Mr. Bernard. He was our superintendent in my hometown. But Mr. McDaniel, great man. I wanted to grow up and be just like him, right? Man, he was just the way he carried himself, the way he treated us, always greeted us with a smile, always made us feel like we had value. Man, like the reason I wear blazer and stuff, because he always was sharp and wore a blazer. He used to wear that aging myself here. He used to wear the old school penny loafers with the penny in it. You know what I'm talking about? Like with the real penny in it. He used to wear those. But I wanted to grow up and be just like Mr. McDaniel. And so, at my home, I was demanded to do some things. Like, you're going to work hard, you're going to do right, you're going to treat, you're going to do that, boy. Just put the boy in front of it, I tell you that, right? Like, you're going to do those things. And so my goal was to strive to do those things to make my family proud. But what I didn't know is that people around me saw the things that I did, right? So fast forward, I'm a broke college kid, graduating from college. I applied for a teaching and coaching job in Conroe ISD. And what I didn't know is that the principal at that school knew Mr. McDaniel. That's where it get good, y'all. Right? And so I didn't know that. I was just applying for a job, right? And so he calls Mr. McDaniel. He says, hey, I got this Chip Baker kid applying for a job here in my school. Tell me a little bit about him. He goes and says, oh, man, he's a great guy. He's going to work hard. He's going to do things the right way. He's going to treat people right. He'll be an asset to your team. You should give him an opportunity. And that principal gave me my very first teaching and coaching job off of what Mr. McDaniel said to him. Hold on, wait a minute. I don't know if you got. I got my very first teaching and coaching job off of the guy that I was as a kid. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me. Hey, the career that I've been 26 years in, my very first experience, I got that experience, the opportunity, because of the person that I was when I was that age, right? And so to you, I want you to understand as a leader, and now, man, I just got my 25-year plaque this summer. Man, that's awesome. Like that's big, right? And so to you, what that means is you have to make sure as leaders that we build relationships and do things the right way and take care of your people, because opportunities bring opportunities. I've gotten so many opportunities in my life because of those things. Had opportunity being placed, man, I don't even know if I'm worthy of being in those places, but I'm there because of that. So great leaders, they build relationships and they know that opportunities bring opportunities. All right, so on your paper, if you can do one takeaway from learning to build relationships, I'll give you about a minute to do that. All right, everybody get something? Good deal. All right, the last point, the last thing that great leaders must learn to do is learn to give service. And man, can I just say it like can I just say it like it is? Oh, okay, right. So my mom used to tell me, boy, it ain't about you. Right? Like, we have to check our ego at the door, right? Understand that it's bigger than us. It's not about me, right? When we give service, we truly understand that it's a bigger purpose, for a bigger calling, to do bigger and better things as a leader. And I'm a faith guy, so I'll share this. This is a faith. I heard this from pastor too. He talked about, he took a position as a youth minister, and the guy that was there, he was going to still be there in the facility, but doing a lower position. But he came in, and that guy came to him and said, hey, I want to let you know that there's no ill will from me, from my heart on what we got going on here. I want you to know that, right? He said, I believe that ego is edging God out. Right? I believe that when we have ego, we edge God out and we don't let the big man guide our steps in the manner of which we should go. So I was like, man, that's really good right there, right? So it's important that we don't have the ego. The next thing is leaders, when we learn to give service, it's life-changing to change lives. I need to give y'all that one again. It's life-changing to change lives. And all of you in here, y'all have done it. Y'all know what it takes. Y'all been around. Y'all have helped. Y'all have given service. It's so awesome when you can see that you understand as a leader that it's not about you and it's bigger than you. And you see the benefits of what comes from that. Ah, man, it does something to you in your heart, right? It allows you to walk with purpose. It allows you to have passion about what you do, right? Because you understand that, like, because you're able to do those things and pour into others, you get better too. And they're depending on you to give them that, right? And then another thing that I've seen is that when you allow yourself to learn to give service as a leader, it allows you to work through your personal challenges, right? And so none of us are immune from growing through tough things. Like I said, I can remember we found out my father had cancer during the football season. You know, I was at the hospital. My players, my guys, they on the call, video call me. I'm at the hospital. Coach, we're just checking on you. You know, just like those kind of things. And so, like, man, that gave me the strength to push on, right? It gave me the strength to just do what I do because I've invested in them and I learned that it's important to give service. All right. So, this is good right here, y'all. So, the guy up top, he was one of my former players. We did camps, football camps. As a 5th grader, he came to our camps. And his name was very hard to pronounce, and everybody messed his name up, right? But me, Coach Baker, I know that your name is important, right? That's your family lineage. And I'm not gonna mess your name up, and I'm gonna make sure that if I say it wrong, please tell me so I can make sure that I say it right, because that's important, right? And so his name was Faridafar, is his last name. Right? Yeah, right. And so everybody was messing him up, calling him different stuff. And at the camp as a 5th grader, like, I saw that. I was like, hey, tell me your name. And so he said it. I'm looking at his lips. All right. All right. And so I'm checking him out. I said, tomorrow I'll be able to say your name. Right. And that was a personal challenge for me. Right. Because that kid needs to know that he's important to me. And so the next day, what's up, Faridafar? Yeah, man. Yeah, I told you I was gonna know your name. And so from then on, he came to our camp every year. Went to the junior high that fed our high school. Ended up coming to our high school. Was a really good football player. Was one of my top power lifters. Man, we did some great things with that group. Really close to him. Good guy. Fast forward, I had an opportunity to get a head coaching job, athletic director. When he was in college, I was able to let him come in and do some service stuff and be involved with the program there, because he knew how we did things. Right, he was able to pour into kids, build some relationships, all that stuff there. Fast forward, he and I both, different situations, were back in the area. He chose to go through the business route, started working at Papacitos, right? Ended up real quick, became a manager, because he's that kind of guy, worked his tail off, high energy, that kind of dude. And so the picture on the bottom, that was at his wedding. And you know, as coaches, it's amazing to be invited to the wedding. Those important things in their life, right? Giving service. And so, you know, we had talks, and he talked to me about being a coach, and I told him, you know, going into coaching, my goal is to just make an impact in one life. And I told him that a long time ago. At his wedding, right before we took that picture, he came up to me like, Coach, you remember you told me your goal is to make a difference in one person's life, say, look at all them guys right there. You made a difference in all of their lives by what you've done. We appreciate you and we love you, Coach. And so it's important for us as leaders to give service. Fast forward a little more, the picture on the right, that's his first child. The guy to his left, that's my son, right? And so now we're at the hospital when he has his first child, and that dude loves my son because I loved him. Hold on, y'all. Because I gave service to that kid when he was a 5th grader, that guy loves my son because I loved him and gave service to him. And now he's a big time manager at Papacitos. He gave my son his very first job. Full circle, right? But when I met him, I wasn't thinking, hey, I want to take care of this kid to get advantage. This is going to happen. I had no clue that those things were going to happen. But I just knew as a leader, it's important for me to give service and look out for kids and look out for the people that's around me because it's bigger than me. It ain't about me as a leader, right? And so I wanted to make sure I shared that with you, the importance of leaders giving service and going above and beyond to do that. So I give you a minute to take away from the giving service, and then we'll close it out. All right. So in closing, leadership is learning. But even further than that, leadership is continued learning, right? We have to make sure as leaders that we continue to learn. We have to make sure that we learn to grow. We have to make sure that we learn to build relationships. We have to make sure that we learn to give service. So leadership is learning. And just some closing reflections. As leaders and what we do now, we have to know that our experiences set us up to lead. Right? The things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, they set us up to lead. We have to have the awareness when we're doing those things that there's lessons to be learned, right? Not winning and losing, but winning and learning, which is winning and winning, right? And so have the awareness to learn those lessons, because I look at it as blessings in the lessons, right? If you're looking at it with the proper perspective, with the right lenses, right? And then also we must share that with others so that we continue to influence and leave a great legacy in our world as leaders. So leadership is learning. So I just want to say that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, and go get it.
Go get it.